I've just bought this 2004 Renault Clio Sport 172 track car for just 1,500 quid. And I feel like I've got the bargain of a century, and this thing is also fully road legal. So we'll be taking it out in just a bit. But first, I want to talk you guys through the specification of this thing, because as you can see, yeah, this thing is far from standard. So, the wheels. They're a bit of a talking point, aren't they? Bright green, not the colour I would have gone with, but I actually really like the wheel itself. Team Dynamic Motorsport wheels, 16-inch, and they're sitting on Toyo Proxy semi-slick tyres on all four corners, so this thing grips. And there's also upgraded discs and pads, upgraded brake line, but it has thrown up an ABS light, so we may have to check that out. It's also, as you can probably tell, not sitting on stock suspension. At the moment, it's got lowering springs all round, and the previous owner may or may not have given us a set of replacement adjustable coilovers. Maybe. We'll see. Another thing that's clearly not standard and have been added by previous owners are these bonnet catches. Some people love them, some people hate them. I actually don't mind them. I think they look quite cool, quite sporty. Another thing that's very common on these Clios that a lot of people do is they remove the fog lights to get better cooling to the brakes. Now, I don't actually know exactly what this exhaust is, and neither did the previous owner. He didn't even know if it was a decal or not. He said it passed its MOT anyway and went through emissions fine, so it could have one. We're not 100% sure. And the last thing that isn't standard on the exterior of this car is this green toe strap, which it looks like they've cut through the bumper with a kitchen knife. That is a terrible job. But now it's time to move on to the interior, because this has got a lot going on inside. First of all, I feel like we should get it out of the way and just say, what the hell is this? I mean, Jesus Christ, it's just the worst looking thing I've ever seen on a car's interior. Now we've got past this hideous tape, I've got to mention this flock dashboard. Whoever's done this job has done an amazing job of it, and it's so race car. If you don't know what a flock dash does, it basically stops any reflections from the sun reflecting on the windscreen, blinding you as you're going around the track. The next modification done by the previous owner is this steering wheel. It's a very cool Alcantara steering wheel, yellow center line, and it's a deep dish as well, so it sits nice and close. Your arms always bent when driving. Still got the horn as well, and yeah, nice little modification. And the next thing that's quite clearly been done on this car is it's been completely stripped. That's right, there's literally nothing left in the back of this. The spare wheel's gone, all the interior trims are gone. We have got some nice pieces here that will cover up these gaps here, which we'll put on eventually, but same again in here. We've got completely stripped out carpets, and they've actually installed a fire extinguisher, which is very, very cool. Now the next thing to show you guys is what's under the bonnet. I don't know why the bonnet's just not wanting to open. Oh, it's because it's already latched. What an idiot. There we go. So here is the 169 horsepower 2-litre petrol engine. I think the only modification is this air intake. Let me know if you like the green down below, because yeah, that is just not a bit of me. I think with the silver, it just doesn't work. Now I've shown you around the whole car. The last thing to do now before we head out on the road and take this thing for a spin is show you the added extras that came with this, because it came with a lot. I was not joking when I said there was extra bits that came with this car. There's literally, where do we even start? By the way, all this was included in the price of £1,500. He chucked in all this stuff on top of just the car. We've got another little racing steering wheel. We've also got this carbon fibre air intake. These are the fog light bits I was talking about that go in to cool the brakes down. Adjustable coilovers. They're gas. Whether they're any good or not, let me know down below, because I have no idea. Cobra bucket seats. These are very, very cool. We've got 2 rails, so we can adjust them forwards and back, which is nice. But we only have 1 fixing plate. So at the moment, only 1 of them can go in. But my favourite thing of all, the roll cage. So when I saw he was chucking in this and the bucket seats, I thought it was a no-brainer, and I just had to get this car. But I think we've done enough talking and showing you around the car, and I think it's about time we get in and go for a drive. Cold start. Yeah, it's loud, this thing. It's got a proper grumble to it. Yeah, this is going to be the first time I've driven this without the boot open. Let's give it a few baby revs. All right, so we're underway, and yeah, on the road, this is incredibly bumpy. The suspension is so rough. Oh, it feels proper race car in here, and I love it. Going through town now with potholes. Oh, it is bumpy. It is seriously bumpy. We'll put the windows down. Whoa! She flies. She flies. Flipping hell, mate. That's mental. The corner's so flat. Semi-slicks, they grip well. Oh, put it into fifth. Jesus Christ. It sounds so good because it's small, nimble, corners flat, light. It's just the light weight of it. It darts around. So good. The gearbox is nice. I still have to get used to it. I'll put it into fifth then. No, I'm not used to it yet. I love the sound of it. It has such a throaty sound. I'm a bit worried it will be too loud for track days. I hope not. Hitting the red line there. Oh, semi-slicks, and in the road's a bit wet on that edge. I don't know how good or bad these are in the wet. I can only assume bad. This is the mixture I've always wanted. I've got the PDK in my Porsche, and now I've got the rawness of a manual in this hot hatch that's just so... Oh, mate, I'm so pleased with this purchase. For 1,500 quid, and I've got all of this car. Around this corner. Oh mate, jeez, she corners flat. I am gassed to get this on its first track day. Let me know what you guys want to see with this car, what tracks you want us to take it on, anything you want us to do to it, let us know down below in the comments. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, like up the channel, like up the video. Mate, this is sick. I'm gassed. Flipping hell. Oh my God, get out, mate. See you later, mate. Jesus Christ. Flipping hell, those tyres are actually a joke. Having good tyres on a car is a game changer. I have so much confidence in that front end. But that does bring me on to going from a high to a low. Because yeah, there's a few problems with this car that we've got to sort out. So let me run you through them. Currently, the car doesn't lock with the key. Whether that's because it's a dead key and there's no battery, or it's just a broken key, I'm not sure. But at the moment, I can't lock or unlock this car. The ABS light is on. And the previous owner said after all the brakes were changed and the braided brake lines were put in, that's when the light flashed up on the dash. So was something put in wrong? Has a sensor been broken? I'm not sure, but hopefully we can get to the bottom of that problem. Putting the new funnel in for the brake cooler, because at the moment it's just an empty hole. The airbag light's on because the steering wheel's been replaced, the airbag's been taken out and unplugged. Obviously there's not been one put in its place, so the plugs are just dangling and the car's like, why is there no airbag? So we got to put something in those plugs to stop the light flashing up, so it thinks there's an airbag still attached. It would also be nice to have a radio too. And the first thing I'll be doing is getting rid of this. But other than that, I think that is most of the things that are wrong with this car mechanically anyway. Just the brakes, the airbag light, a few lights on the dash that we can hopefully repair, and I think this could also do with a service as well, because I don't know what the history of this car is. But yeah, that is my Clio 172 Sport. If you guys are looking forward to the build, then leave a like and subscribe down below, and also follow me on Instagram because I'll be posting updates on this and everything we do in real time over there. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video where we start trying to figure out some of the problems and fixing this car.